Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the CPA Corner. Today, we're joined by a special guest, superhero. He's here to tell us more about his army experience and his work on CPAB. Super, how about you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello everyone, I am Superhero 123. I have been a member of the Klavigun Army community for 11 years now, and I'm mostly known as a leader for the Smart Penguins and the Water Vikings, and also as the administrator and creator of the Klavigun Army's battleground.
Okay, that's good. How about you tell us which armies you were part of in those 11 years?
Yes, of course. Well, it's actually it's really a lot of armies, and I may be forgetting some, but the main ones are the Hotsos Army, which is where I started my career, the Shadow Troops, Vortex Warriors, Smart Penguins, and then the Shadow Penguin Force, United Troops Army, Green Mercenaries. I think that's everything from my original army era. And on on the CPPS era, I'm only been in Smart Penguins and the Water Vikings, of course.
Okay, how about you tell us that you were mostly known for Smart Penguins in your time. How about you tell us what makes Smart Penguins the best for you? What are the good memories you had there, your friends? Tell us about Smart Penguins.
So what made Smart Penguins the best for me is the fact that the community was really nice. Like, I don't know, it was a very bonded group of people for the most part. And of course there were fights, but there was never serious toxicity, I would say. Like, even the internal dramas were very mild, especially for the time, because back in 2013 and 2014 the situation in Klavigun Armies was much different than now. People were more aggressive in a way, I don't know how to put it. But yeah, no, we were very good. That and something else that I really always liked about Smart Penguins is the fact that due to our strong OZ division, we're able to face much larger armies. Like armies were considered a medium-sized army, too small, but we could face everyone because at many points of our history we had, if not the best, then one of the best OZ divisions. So we could always just spam invasions on that time zone, and that was extremely broken at the time. Almost like I would say out of the 10 biggest armies, only like 2 had such a division. Everyone else was maxing 0 during those times. It was crazy.
Yeah, so yes, you guys put a lot of work in it. Yeah.
Sorry?
And it worked out in the end.
Oh yes, it worked very well. We had many successes in our wars. We're always a war army, in a sense. We kept fighting. We really believed that it was what motivated us. And it made everything interesting for the troops as well.
Yeah, I mean, at least you had fun in the army. That's the most important thing.
Of course, and now, that's I want to say that this is the most important thing in general in this community. That this is something you are doing as a pastime to have fun. If for whatever reason you don't have fun, it's never a bad idea to quit, either temporarily or permanently, if it doesn't do good to you. I keep saying this to people.
Of course, that's really important. Now, moving on to other armies, you had maybe a big role. Some people say that you had a big role in Water Vikings also. How about you tell us your feelings about Water Vikings? Most of your friends are there probably. How do you see it today?
First of all, now that you ask this question, I remember that I forgot to mention the Worlds of Cosmos in my career, which was also quite fun. It's so many armies, I always forget some. So, the way I got involved in Water Vikings was that before Water Vikings, I was leading Worlds of Cosmos, the army with the most base uniform in Klavigun Army history, which I will show you now in the game. So this uniform, and
it looks great.
Thank you. So it was like in spring 2020, there were the Worlds of Cosmos, and Fizeo, still not sure how to pronounce his name, was leading the Shadow Troops. And we kind of did the merge, and we formed an army called the Golden Guardians, which only lasted for a month. It was maxing quite well, and we decided to rebrand it into the Water Vikings after, of course, getting permission from King Fangs himself and a few other Water Vikings veterans. And so that's how this generation of Water Vikings started. So I was essentially there from the day zero, literally. Like I was there even before it was named Water Vikings.
Yeah, it's funny
for the
because
most
I was
part.
also in Shadow Troops. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
it's
also
funny.
at
I
the
got
time
Shadow
in
Troops
Shadow
in
Troops.
2013, but
Yeah, I
yes,
moved to Golden
it's funny.
Guardians, and I got mad that they removed Shadow Troops, and my old army was gone. But yeah, things happen. Continue, Super.
Okay, yeah, it's interesting. So I was, for the most part, I was in the high command in Water Vikings, but I also got to lead from a period for a period 2021. And afterwards, I've been an advisor. I always support the Water Vikings in tournaments and wars. It's not a secret. And
Yeah,
it's because I had an amazing time in that army as well. I met a lot of cool people. I really like the vibe because, unlike most armies at the time, the Water Vikings in 2020, 2021 was almost exclusively veterans from my age. So we could also like do our boomer jokes and talk about the shit that had happened in the past. And that was also quite
yeah.
funny. And we're also same age, kind of.
Speaking, speaking of Water Vikings, what do you think about Dino's leadership of the army? How did he do so far?
He's excellent. I'm very satisfied with him. He's both keeping like say the Water Viking spirit, achieving great sizes, and also Dino in particular has been helping the community in other ways with his involvement in community projects and the wiki and stuff. So yes, I'm really happy with him.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I mean, he was also nominated for Club Penguin Army's Legend, and
Yes,
he really did great
of course he
stuff
was.
for the army.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I was super
moving
happy
on.
for his nomination. It was well deserved.
Yeah, of course. Moving on from armies, I guess. You said that you were also the creator of CPAB, Club Penguin
Yes.
Army's Battlegrounds. Tell us about the process of creating this game and how did it go?
So we of course have to take a step
Simplify,
back.
simplify.
In
Make it
20
simplified for us non-computer science nerds.
No, of course not. But to go through the history of this game, we have to go into the first Club Penguin Army private server that I made, which was in 2019. The Club Penguin Army is the game. So the reason that game the reason I developed that game was because back then, the armies that chose to not operate in Club Penguin Online were scattered among multiple different servers. It wasn't just Club Penguin Rewrite, like people think. There were many servers, and armies weren't really organized at all in that side of the community. So the idea was to make a Club Penguin private server where all of those armies would also operate alongside their home server in order to be able to have wars, community wars, which is really important, and also to have community-wide tournaments. So that's how it started, and it was extremely successful. Like I did not expect it to be this successful at first, but within 1 month or two, pretty much every army that didn't operate in Club Penguin Online operated in that game. Which
Of course.
we achieved our goal was to unify that side of the community. And then eventually, when Club Penguin Online collapsed, the armies from Club Penguin Online also joined that server, which was essentially the unification of the army community for the first time in years. It was a very important moment for us. After
Yeah,
that,
so you basically saved the community from many
I- I-
confusions.
well, I did make the game, but the unification was definitely not just my work. There were a lot of people who came together to make it happen. And of course, if Clubbing Online hadn't shut down, it would probably be way more complicated.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's how I started. And now, because you asked for Clubbing Online Battleground specifically,
Yeah.
so the Clubbing Online the game had to shut down because of the death of Flash, since it was a Flash CPBS. And so there was public demand for another server in using another technology, HTML5, which is supported by all major browsers. And so Clubbing Battlegrounds is essentially a remake of that game in HTML5, which is what we can use today. So yeah, that's how it came to be. And it's been running for almost 2 years now.
That's impressive. It's a really good game, by the way. We're so happy
Thank
to have you.
I'm not satisfied with it yet because I believe it's missing a lot of stuff. I wish I had more time for it, but eventually, slowly everything is getting added, all the mini games.
Yeah,
stuff. But yeah,
real life first.
it's
We all
slow.
have and we have to prioritize that thing.
Mhm.
Also, on this topic of CPAB, did you have any coding experience or did you study in computer science so that you were able to create this game? Or can you tell us some technical process of this game, if you can?
Yes.
What
So, well, when I first got involved in Clubbing Private servers was actually in many years ago in middle school, where it was the first programming project I ever did. I learned a lot of stuff from the process, and it really inspired me to pursue computer engineering as my career, which is what I'm studying right now. University student studying computer engineering.
Oh, you didn't finish your degree?
Sorry?
You didn't finish your degree?
No, I'm still a student. I'm a master student.
Nice. Okay.
It's a bit complicated because in Greece the computer engineering programs are 5-year long, and you get the combined like an integrated master's degree at the end. So you have to do all the 5 years to get a degree. You don't get a bachelor's.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird.
That's cool. Yeah,
So, yeah,
I mean, I think you'll have a good job when you finish.
Yes, I'm actually already satisfied with the job I have.
That's good to hear.
Probably get an even
so you
better
had
one.
experience
So,
doing. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
You had experience doing CPAB.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you were able to do CPAB. Everybody's happy. Now there are some concerns or maybe questions some people want to ask. For example, is there a possibility for CPAB to close down one day, or what are the things that may cause it to close down? How can the community help?
Of course, like every private server, it could close one day, definitely. There are many things that can cause it to close. One is if I stop being able to provide the funding. Currently, there is a pattern that helps cover part of the server costs, but it's not enough, and a decent amount I have to pay myself. If for whatever reason I start struggling financially more, then I wouldn't be able to sustain it. It will be quite sad. But I think if the issue was just financial, we would find the solution. Still, that's one thing. The other thing is if Armies stop using it, which, I mean, if it's because they found a better server, I wouldn't mind at all. But if it's because the community dies, that will be really sad. Personally, I just want the best for the community. And the third is if for whatever reason there is a legal issue with it. But as you know, we don't have ads. There is no monetization from this at all. So I think we do fall under fair use. And the game is running for years without issues, so probably we're fine in that aspect.
Okay. Yeah, I have to ask, how can the community or our viewers watching right now help fund this project that you helped everybody in this community with? How can we help you, basically?
It's very simple. It's just a Patreon page. You could have our link there in our description. People can go click it and donate any amount they wish. They do get a special name color if they do and a role in the Discord. And we also want to add the supporter shirt, which has been delayed a lot, sadly, but it will be added at some point.
Yes, of course. So basically, everybody who wants to help Super, go to his Patreon page, if I'm correct, and you guys will get roles and you will help support this games that we all love. Okay, now that we've talked about CPAB and the game and all the armies you've been in, how do you see the community right now? How is it going? How is the future gonna go? How do you think it's gonna go?
Well, I think the community is in a quite stable state currently. Like we have a league that's been running for quite a while now, and it does not seem like it's going to crumble anytime soon, which is important because we kept having the leagues coming and going in the past years, and this stability is really bad in the long run. One of the reasons the original community succeeded so much was because we had the Army Central, which was always there and dependable and respected. This is what we are trying to achieve with CPA Armies organization as well. So yeah, that's a good thing. Another good thing is that while we did have a significant drop in 2022, the past year there was actually an increase in people. The community started becoming bigger again, which shows that we are probably fine for now. We don't have a risk of dying or anything. And this year, so far, it's been about the same. The amount of armies is it's not too low, but one thing I don't like about the current community is that we have a really few small armies, small medium armies. It's like there is no small medium army community essentially. It's really small because I would say back in the day we had like 20 active armies at all times. There were plenty of them were maxing like 5, but they were there and they had their events and stuff. I do think that the size limit for new army registration needs to lower, because if you are just starting out, even a max of 10 with actual troops is not that easy, and I think we should encourage people to start new armies. We currently have a lack of new armies. Like, I haven't registered a new army in the game for months now. I haven't had the new command because there are no new armies being created. That's something I really don't like. It was never like that. But yes, I think overall we are fine, and
yeah.
And if we find more creative ways to recruit, we could get even larger. But that's a bit harder to do.
Of course. So
I also want to keep improving the game, because if the game is better, then people have a higher incentive to play, and people who play the game will then also be more invested in their armies. It's a kind of a loop. But I also encourage armies to as always not operate exclusively in this game, but also use generic clubbing and private servers to find new troops to recruit, because I think that this server is meant to be more specifically for army warfare.
Tournament. Yeah.
And not as much for casual gameplay. So it's kind of dead when there are no major events, as you know. Yes, so yeah, that's
true. Speaking of CPAB, there's a question I forgot to ask you. Do you have any plans for the future of CPAB? New features, new things people can do inside the game?
Yes, I have actually have a lot of plans, really a lot of plans. But the ones that you can expect, yes, the ones you can expect to see the sooner is first of all multiplayer games. That's like the first thing. That's like the next upcoming feature. I had already revealed that in an announcement a few months ago. It's the first thing that I'm going to do when I find time for the game. So probably in my Easter break, I would say. After that, the size log will return that existed in Club Penguin as the game. So, like during battles, uh, every size command sent by the judges will be logged, and you can go on a page and see the size of both armies in the battle during a specific let's say, time. So that's
Nice.
another feature that will come. I also want to change how like size logging works. I want to add a panel where you will see the names of all armies present in the room and the troops each army has in the room. So it will be like a graphic thing in the game. That's also something you can expect within next few months.
That will help everybody in the game. I mean,
think
from
so.
now on, I mean, I want to say thank you for everything you're doing right now for the community. I mean, some people will say that you are irreplaceable, and we're really thankful for you and for your contributions.
Thanks a lot. It's just this community has offered a lot to me. It helped me define my career path, and I also met a lot of really cool people here. So I'm just returning the favor in a way. But it's true that currently there are not many developers with time in the community, especially like developers with experience in clubbing private servers, which I don't like. I don't like this exclusivity. I want to eventually retire because I've gotten older. But
Yeah,
I'm training. There is some people I'm training right now in our team to
that
eventually
is
take
very
care of
good.
things. Yes, I think so as well. Something else about the features. There has also been a lot of interesting suggestions by the community in the suggestions channel we have on our Discord, and I actually have a list of the interesting ones, but I don't have it there now. Just so people know, some of those suggestions are going to be implemented. Some I already have, but I'm going to add even more because some of those are actually great ideas.
Okay, that's great to hear. So, I mean, we talked about Club Penguin and the game and CPAB a lot. How about we talk about coding for a bit? How difficult do you think coding is, or if somebody wants to learn it? And you said you're training new people to learn it. What difficulties they find? Can you explain more about this topic?
Yes, so first of all, I don't think programming is for everyone. And not because it's that hard to understand, but it's because it's the whole process of writing code is something that not everyone finds interesting. It's just some people it's just boring. They don't particularly enjoy the creative side of it. But it's not that something that hard to get into because there are really a lot of high quality tutorials available online. And now that I'm training people, I realize that it's, if they manage to like move through the initial stage of not knowing anything and they start to understand the first basics, then it becomes much easier. Like it's I would say it's the first steps that are the hardest. After that, also you get a general idea of how things work on an online game, like how the backend works, how the front end, how things kind of communicate with each other, how the database is connected, all that stuff. If you manage to understand that, the general overview, then it's much simpler, and you can start developing your own features.
Okay.
So you just kind of have to
coding
understand what the main, let's say, blocks are, the main things, and how it is connected to each other.
Yeah, I mean, coding isn't for everybody. I've tried it, didn't like it a lot, so I've changed my majors and stuff, and a lot of things happened. But I mean, whoever is interested, I think it's great to have many new developers to help in the
I
game.
believe,
And thank you for.
I
Yeah,
believe, like every hobby, people should. It's a good idea for people to give a shot at programming. Maybe they will enjoy it, maybe they will not. But it's good to try new stuff. It's how you discover more
of
about
course.
yourself and what are your passions eventually. Generally, always I recommend people to always try new things. don't be afraid.
Yeah, that's really great. I mean, I think we've asked you a lot of the important questions. Now, for in these last minutes, how about we ask you some fun questions, if you're
course.
up to it?
Of course I am.
Okay,
It's my favorite.
okay, so of course, first off, what's your favorite food?
Favorite food is gyros, which is a Greek food.
Of course,
Uh,
yes,
Not sure, are people familiar with it? I don't know. Should I
yeah.
explain what
In my
gyros is?
country, yeah.
Okay, so
Please explain it. Thank you.
so it's essentially in Greece. It's either made of pork or chicken. It's like chopped meat with a few spices. We take that meat, we put it on pita bread, which is like a super flat bread, and we also put like pieces of like tomato and tzatziki, which is a Greek sauce with yogurt and garlic and the onion stuff, and we make it a nice wrap and we eat it, and it's amazing. It's the best food in the world, and it's really cheap in Greece. It's really cheap.
Yeah, everybody who
So,
goes to Greece should try gyro. Yeah.
well, yeah, it's
I mean, in my
the
country,
Greek. It's in Greek. It's called gyros. I say
gyros.
it
Yeah,
here. Yes.
I'm sorry, butchering.
No, it's fine. I just say it so for our listeners to know. So
Yeah, of
because
course.
if you go to a shop here, a Euro shop, and you ask it like correctly, you pronounce it correctly, they are definitely going to be happy to hear you.
Yeah, it's even in Cyprus
They will be impressed.
and Greece. So, I mean, in my country, we have a similar food. It's called shawarma, but it's for in Arab
Yeah,
countries
I know
and
it.
stuff.
I know it.
Yeah. So, okay, it's really great. And now, moving on to the next question.
Mhm.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is red, which is both, of course, the color of Smart Penguins, but also the color of Olympiacos, which is the greatest Greek football club of all time, with that has won by far the most league titles and has the most successful presence in European competitions. So yes, I really love red.
Nice.
It's my favorite color since I was born, pretty much.
So, two answers in one question. Your favorite football club and your favorite
Mhm.
color. Okay.
Everyone that has been in an army alongside me knows how much I like Olympiacos, because I keep making tactics about it.
Okay, speaking of football, what is your favorite World Cup team and your favorite football player?
World Cup, obviously, the Greek team. Like, I can't be objective in this because it's my country. My favorite football player.
Of course.
That's a good question. Well, I'm not sure because there's a lot of players I like. I do believe that Lionel Messi is the best football player of all time, but my favorite doesn't have to be the best necessarily. I would say
Of course.
my favorite is probably El Arabi, which is one of the most successful strikers of Olympiacos, and he has given us a lot of moments of joy.
Of course. Okay, this might be a funny question. Do you have a problem against people calling football soccer?
Yes, I have a major problem with those people. They are. It's always Americans who do this, and they want to seem different and cool. And it's funny because they call football their own sport, which is like the ball is an egg, literally, and they use their hands.
Yeah.
It's hand egg. I keep saying it's hand egg, and Aaron Stone gets very angry with that. It's so funny.
Of course. Okay.
Yes, I do have a very big issue with people calling football soccer, and they should stop it.
Okay. How about we move on to the last two questions? Or
Yes, let's go.
okay.
I mean, I got
So
plenty of time. I got like half an hour, but
oh, you've got more time. All right.
yes,
That's
up to
that's
you
cool.
if you have more questions. I don't
All
know.
right. All right. Then we can continue. Okay, we can continue then. So, I guess we'll ask two more fun questions and
Mhm.
maybe some other questions also.
Okay.
So the next question is, which country would you like to visit in the future?
That's a great question. I would say the country I want to visit the most is Japan. and because I find their culture extremely interesting. I'm not a whip. I don't really watch anime much, but I really like their culture and their history, their cities, which are like very interesting from a technology perspective as well. So yeah, and it's such a like it's a lot of ways similar to Western countries, but also very different. And I think that is the combination is a really cool thing to observe. So definitely Japan, but going to Japan is extremely expensive because I
Of
live in
course.
Greece. It's really far away. So I would say currently my current plan is to visit Spain and most probably Barcelona, which is a city I find really beautiful from an architectural perspective. But I also like the football club a lot. It has a great history, nice shops and stuff. I think it's going to be a very fun trip. I'm still planning it though. I haven't settled on dates,
Of
but it's
course.
going to happen.
Well, I mean, Barcelona is really great. I mean, you have the football clubs there, you have everything. So, I mean, moving on to another question. I mean, okay, after traveling and doing everything, you need money to travel and all of that. What do you think will be your dream job? What what is your dream job that you want to do and you will be happy in?
My dream job is the job I already do. I work as a computer engineer and I have a very fun time. Well, I mean, to be more exact, I'm an electrical and computer engineer. Some parts of my work are electrical engineering, I would say, and less computer. It's more about circuit stuff. But yes, it's a job I enjoy a lot, and it's what I want to keep doing in the future.
That's great. I mean, whatever you love is the best thing you can do. But also, I mean, doing computer all the time might get tiring. Do you have any other hobbies that are outside of computer? Something outdoors, for example?
Yes, for a lot of years I used to play tennis. Sadly, I don't do sport now, but that was an important part of my life for many years. Outside of that, I really like going to concerts. I mainly listen to rock and metal stuff, so that's the kind of concerts I go to. But it's not exclusive. Like tomorrow, I will be going to a hip hop concert by a Greek hip hop group. Outside
Nice.
of that, I also really like really like board games, and I also there is one card game that I play at a, let's say, competitive level in Greece. It's I would say it's one of my, if not my main hobby, maybe the second, but it's a very important part of my life. Aside of those, I also go to cinema, and I really enjoy trips abroad. I visit a lot of different countries, and I want to keep doing so.
Nice. Okay, so we've heard that you also do a lot of things outside of computer science and coding and all of that. I mean, you have a lot of activities outside and it makes you healthy, it makes you happy. Now, let's go back to your childhood, for example. What game did you grow up on? For example, Club Penguin started in 2005, Club Penguin Chat, or 2007. I don't really remember the exact year, but what game did you grow up on and inspired you to become maybe a coder or something like that?
Yeah, it's Club Penguin. There is no other game that played a role in that. It's just Club Penguin.
Just Club Penguin.
I mean, I also played other games, but I wouldn't say those games affect me in my career as much. It was Club Penguin. But I also played a lot of strategy games. I still do actually. I really like strategy games. Even as a kid, I played strategy games online.
So basically
So
something like Dota or
no,
which?
not MOBAs, like strategy, like Total War, Hearts of Iron, Civilization, these kind of games,
Oh, Command and
where
Conquer, for example, also?
you have a country and you have your armies and you send your
Oh
troops to
yeah,
do
I
to
know
conquer
that.
stuff. That genre. As a friend of mine calls them
Alright.
games with maps, because
Yeah,
all you do is to observe a map all the time.
of course. Club Penguin Armies should learn something about this.
Of course,
We need a map, guys. We need a map.
we need a map. Yes, I actually wish I could help more on that, but I don't have the time to take that project myself right now.
Yeah,
There's
of
other
course,
people
man.
working on it though, so there is work going on that. Don't worry, we will have a map eventually. That's going to
Yeah, you're
take.
doing a lot of work for us already. I mean, you have to work on your real life also, and we shouldn't really expect a lot of things. I mean, this is a hobby, and we all have real lives here. So, speaking of maps, for example, what do you think would be different this time than other previous maps if Penguin
It's
Armies
going
was
to
to make it?
be it's going to be much larger. I can see that. I can also say that we are bringing back something that a feature that we had in Clubbing is the game, that we'll have the servers will be actual servers. So each server on the map will have a server in the game as well. There will be a link.
Nice. So all of these changes, all of these updates are coming to the game soon. Everybody's
Yes,
happy.
that's actually simple to implement in the game. It's not hard, but we don't have the map right now, so there's no reason to do it.
Yeah,
Like, it wouldn't make any sense. I'm just waiting for the map like you.
true. Okay, so I guess now let's go to the maybe final Club Penguin Army related questions, I guess. Yeah. So okay, everybody's playing Club Penguin Armies right now, and there are many tournaments coming around. What do you think about tournaments? For example, March Madness is coming around. Who do you think will win, and what do you think of the tournament?
Have to say that I'm not sure what was the final decision, but I think that it's going to be single elimination, right? In the end, or no?
I'm not following the news a lot,
Okay, so I know that
Jacob might tell us.
the Armies wanted to make double elimination. They wanted to try an alternate format, but there were the leaders didn't like it, which made me really sad because I did want to see a different tournament for once. So that's the general comment. I do think we need to see to stop for only doing single elimination. The Legends Cup specifically should always be single elimination, but the other tournaments I think should try other formats as well. It's a real shame to not, for example, do group stage for once. It would be a difference. Like it does have its own set of advantages.
Yeah.
So that's my comment on this tournament. But regarding the winner, it's Water Vikings. It's always Water Vikings. Except the smart penguins are there. If there are smart penguins, then it's smart penguins. That's how it goes.
Oh, no words of Cosmos? They won't win?
No, we won't win this time around.
No. Okay, that was fun. Okay, so we've got your, feedback on the March Madness. Anything else you want to say for the community before we end this podcast?
Yes, I want to say, do things that you enjoy. Always make sure that you're having fun in the community. If you're not having fun, take a break. Never but take a break. Yes, anything you do in this community, keep in mind that it's a game. Don't take it as serious as you want, but not like so seriously that it will affect your mental health or your studies and stuff. Those stuff are way more important than any game. And keep fighting. Wars are the essence of Clubbing Armies, and that's how you write history. And yes, that's my message, I think. Have fun.
Okay.
And keep battling.
Yeah, of course. We're all doing this to have fun. Thank you very much, Superhero, for your contributions, everything you did. And don't forget, guys, to help out Superhero and the game, CPAB. Go to his Patreon, help CPAB in all the ways you could. We don't have this is like the best Club Penguin private server we have right now, and we have to show
I
our
also
support to this game.
something else. I want to thank the staff team of Capiona's Battleground because like without our designers and moderators and developers and stuff, I wouldn't be able to provide this game to you. It's there's a lot of people working for this game to keep running, and sometimes their work gets overshadowed, which is a shame.
Of course. Well, big thank you for everybody who's working on the game. Big thank you for everybody in the community, and thank you all for listening to this podcast. And this is the best interview we've had so far. Hopefully, you all enjoy it. And thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you, bye. Thank you guys. Goodbye.